She arrived palace playing jumping with happiness, and she was totally thinking about him again, lost in her own thought. But meanwhile, Monk was also able to feel something spark in his deep down into his heart. But sadly, he was not able to figure it out. What is that? And she was waking up from daydreaming when she heard the noise that's coming from the bird chanting outside her window. When she opened the window, the wind whispered her ears, and deep inside, she was very happy. And she was not sleeping yet. The night was passing. When the morning sun's ray entered her room, she woke up as same as always. She stood and looked outside. It was sunny day, and then at once her attracted to the couples of birds who were loving each other, and she totally forget the present and started to thinking about Jetchi again. Finally, she woke up and finds she is going to be late for him. Running all along the way, she reached to the temple and saw him there sitting at the same place. Am I late? She said. He replied with no, you are not. In fact, I have just arrived now. But the fact was, he has been there for more than half an hour, but inside he was asking himself, why did I tell her lies? And she said, Jetchi, how adorable, isn't it? This world and nature. He just nodded his head, and again she said, did you miss me? Yet he just nodded again with an innocent look outside. She was very happy inside, and finally she asked again, are you waiting for someone in your life, Jetchi? With a smile again. He simply said, no, I'm not. She was very upset with his answer, but she didn't show in face. Instead, she hid the feeling with just a smile. Monk remembered that once she said and asked, so have you found him yet? With sigh feeling inside and sighed, she said, yes. And then, so how did you met him? He asked again, but she just said, you will know soon who is he, and gave him a smile. Time passed as always. It no one can stop time, isn't it? The monk said he needs to go now. This time she was willing to ask him, why did he need to leave at the same time exactly every day, but she couldn't, and with no choice left, she was forced to say him goodbye, and he leaves. Yet again, and deep inside, she was full of questions, but she couldn't express it in front of him. Talking herself, she returns back home again, thinking all along the way, will he notice about my feeling? He will notice about my feeling soon. Me no. And with a happy smile, she returns back, jumping, playing with the butterflies. In the season of summers, days are passing away, and the emotions and feelings inside were growing up What should I do? She was thinking inside. Her attention were attracted by the sounds coming from outside of window, and she went there to check what's there, and she found out that the male bird died. The female bird was flying over the dead body of her beloved, and that moment she traumatized, and all the day she was thinking about death. Evening was on the set, yet she was in the some kind of very deep thought about the dead. Today she skipped eating too. She was lying over the bed and thinking about the incident that happened, and one question was eating her inside. How can it end like this after having all of everything? How can death can end everything when everything is going well? Asking her, trying to answer it but couldn't, and the moon was already in the sky, looking towards it. So that's all for you today. I know you will also leave it tomorrow when the morning comes. How cruel, again asking herself. It was already midnight, but she was not sleeping yet. She was sitting near to the window, staring at the moon, thinking about how death ends all in just a flash of second. The door was open and her mom was passing by, and she noticed something off, and when she entered in her room she saw Yuhan was sitting in the window continuously staring at the moon. Her mother gently tapped on her shoulder and asked, "Is everything alright, my dear?" At the moment she sank and looked at her. "Mother, are you afraid of death?" she asked with curious on her face. With a calmly her mother answered, "Dear, in this living world we live to die, but different is some dies earlier and other dies later. But we all have to die someday, so that's why we need to live our life in joy rather than wasting in sorrow, pain. We have only one life. So don't be sad anymore. And death, dear, it is inevitable. No one can avoid it. Everything starts from beginning, from the birth, and ends with the death at the end. Death is natural process, my love." She gently pat her head. Yuan seems convinced enough now and again start to stare at the garden, and she says, "Mother, is death also called new life?" She said, pointing towards the dying tree, and said, "Mother, did you see that?" Mother turns towards the tree. There was the bud of tree growing from the dying tree. She said, "Look there." Mother replies with, "Yes, my love, so it means that also." And then she asked her, "So I heard you did not eat food today?" Immediately, Yuan covers the questions with a cute, innocent smile and says, "Mother, I guess I should go to the bed now." "Oh, you should. It's already night, late. But don't forget to have to eat something that I have brought you. The food is on the table, so make sure you eat that before sleeping. And don't forget to lock the door, alright?" Mother said. And she leaves. Turning towards the moon again, she says, "You will be here tomorrow as well, with a new bright light and new hopes for all of us." And she jumps over the bed and take a bite of food and went to sleep and gently close her eyes, waiting for the morning comes. With a new view of the world, she woke up. Though it's a summer season, but light drizzling is in the morning, and slowly she opens up her window. She remembered that day when she met him, and after all, her attention was attracted by the rainbow in the sky, the beautiful butterflies flying around the garden, and she realized the beauty of living life. Coming down from the stairs slowly. Greetings, mother, good morning, she says. Morning, dear, her mother replies, and she jumped into her arms. Thank you for everything, she said. Her mother responded with a smile, and both of them went to eat something. And after having the food, they were a part of their work and went to their work respectively. Seeking a parasol but unable to get. Parasols mean a kind of traditional umbrella made of bamboo, which is usually widely that time. Seeking a parasol but unable to get. Hey, yeah, you there? Bring me a parasol. Yes, my princess. Bowed down, and he went and here it is, my princess. She took it and went out. On the way, she was thinking about him again. Today I'm gonna ask him anyway, she was thinking inside. After a minute of walking, she saw him coming towards her, and she was stunned. Hands her stayed frozen. She couldn't think anything. Only thing that was she was thinking is why he's coming here? Why he's coming towards me? And am I late? He came close enough to her and said, where have you lost yesterday? Huh? Huh? She came back to the same at once. And the raining started. It was nothing. Let's go to the temple. It's raining, she said rapidly. He just stood there. She pulled his hand towards her and take him under her parasol. And he looked into her eyes, and both of them are now frozen. Stuck away from the living world but meanwhile, sound of lightning waked them all, and they started to move towards the temple. After getting into the temple, both of them sat near to each other, and she put the parasol aside. Jetchi, are you afraid of death? Union asked. He looked at the sky and said, no, not at all, with sad expressions. Union turns around the tree where the birds were chanting, singing, and pointed it to him. Hey, look, take a look over there, she says. He turns around. What is it? He said. Look how beautiful world would be now if there is only love present, she said with a soft tone, closing her eyes and took a deep breath. You're so silly. He said it was the first time Yuan saw him laugh like that. It was very, very, very surprisingly happy moment of her life. Time was passing like always. Now the drizzling started. The rain was almost stopped. He stand up and said, "Hey, listen, this one is for you, I wrote." She seemed surprised, and from the time we chatted, I knew there was something special, and as time went, it only got better. Being with you has turned me around, and for the first time in years, I look forward to the next day. Thank you for everything you have done. I had a wise and beautiful time. Hearing this from him, who never ever talked, she smiled and chuckled. It was very, very glorious and beautiful moment of her life that she got to hear this from Jetchi. Yuan asked him, "Hey, will you be here every day?" No response. Instead, he said, "My new path has been chosen, and I have no fate." With a serious look. Now the drizzling stopped as well. Sun started to shine in the sky. Jetchi said, "I better go now. My master is waiting for me." With a caress, she managed to ask, "Will, will you promise me that you will always be with me?" With a curious look, he stand up and said, I don't know. Because promises are made to broke." She smiles back and says him bye. She was burning inside with regrets. Instead of she gets back to the palace. As always, with taking parasol with her. She was very upset today. Maybe happy and joyness comes at once always in our life. Like as well, she was extremely happy, and yet she was devastated and sad.